Let's start with the defending American League champs, the Toronto Blue Jays. So the big question is for the Blue Jays, is the World Series window closed? Chase, do you think it's closed for the Blue Jays?
Yes, I genuinely believe if you have a year like that and you lose the World Series, I don't think you're going to do it again. That's just conspiracy theory or not, whatever you want to take it as. I don't think so. Also, they also play in a division called the American League East that also has my Baltimore Orioles in there. And we had a very pathetic season that pissed me off last year because I did not expect it. I'm gonna be honest. I know we're hungry. I hope we're hungry, and I know we're gonna take it from them. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. That's just the truth.
And then also, I think the Blue Jays gonna be down Santander again, right?
Yep, at least for a little bit. I know
Yeah,
he's
he's
not. He's
missing the
not.
whole
He's
year.
not ready. Is he the whole
Yeah, I
year?
think yeah, I
Yeah.
think
We got bailed out on that one. I'll say that.
man. Noah, do you think the window is closed for the Blue Jays?
No, but I think it's shrunk a lot. Them losing Boba Chat really was like 90% of that window closing to me. Their division, their being how tough it is, does not help their cause either. I think they have a great home field advantage. I think that was really one of the best driving forces they had behind their Cinderella story season last year. I think they can still keep that going. It's going to be a lot harder for sure. I think that it's like you guys have a good point as far as replicating a championship year where you came up just a bit short. There's a lot of teams in history, not just baseball, but in all sports, that have that happen to them. And I think that's very possible that happens to them as well. But I still think there's a good amount of talent on that team, given that they're healthy. And I'm like 40% at yes, 60% no.
Mason, do you agree with Chase and Noah? Is the window just about closed or closed all the way for the Blue Jays?
I'm leaning more with Noah here. I don't see how this season goes that wrong because they're kind of rolling out the same lineup for the most part. I mean, okay, you lose Bo Bichette, you lose Chris Bassett. Sir Anthony Dominguez was there for a little bit. You sign Dylan Cease. You get Kazuma Okamoto over from Japan. He's going to be your third baseman. You're sliding Andres Jimenez over to shortstop, and then you're going to play Ernie Clement at second. And then, Vladdy is Vladdy. You get Tyler Rogers to replace Sir Anthony in the bullpen. Jesus Sanchez is another utility outfielder. I think the problem with the Blue Jays is that you're losing Shane Bieber, Jose Barrios, and Trey Savage, who is their three. Those are three big name pitchers. Trey Savage kind of exploded onto the scene in the playoffs. The rotation is fine. George Springer had a really, really good season last year, and nobody's talking about it. He hit like 300, hit like 30 homers, had like 25 doubles, something like that. I mean, if he can do anything like that again, I just think that they're kind of rolling out basically the same lineup. I don't think Bo Bichette is as big of a miss as it's kind of being made out to be because Bo Bichette didn't play in the division series against the Yankees when the Blue Jays, for lack of a better term, put belt to ass. The Blue Jays spanked the Yankees in the division series without Bo Bichette. And I don't even know if he played in the championship series. He might not have even played until the World Series, which they ended up losing. So maybe, it's for the better. He was the worst shortstop in the league by defense. I mean, I'm not discrediting Bo Bichette. Has a fantastic bat. One of the best players in the league. I don't think the Blue Jays window is entirely closed quite yet.
I got a few things. Number one, I do not think Boba Fett was the worst shortstop in the league. Anthony Volpe sucks. I'm
I
pretty
think he
sure
was
he
like
had
the
the
second worst, but the
regardless.
nerds who watched the videos way more than we do and like the advanced analytics said Bo Bichette was the worst by defense.
Forget the analytics. Volpe's worse, but Boba Fett is. I agree with you. He's 1A, 1B. Second thing that I want to say, based off your reasonings, don't you think even though the Blue Jays are rolling out the same lineup or nearly the same lineup, that other teams in this division have also gotten better? to the point where they will match up with the Blue Jays better than they did last year, especially us. I mean, we were injured last year. We both know this. So I think we're going to match up with them differently. But then look at like Boston. Boston, to me, has drastically gotten better. So based
Absolutely.
off of that, do you think anything of that?
I mean, it's going to make a difference for sure. But I mean, I think in this sport in particular, it's kind of just get to the dance and then, you'll figure it out at that point. I mean, the Blue Jays could be a wild card team and still make the World Series. It happens. I'm not saying that they're going to win 95 games again or whatever it was, but I mean, I think people are kind of expecting them to be, a middle of the pack team again where, they're around 500. The Blue Jays are still a really good team.
Yeah, I agree with both you guys' points. But Noah, let me bring you back into this. Now, I know you said their World Series window has closed dramatically, but do you think the AL East championship, like winning the division, do you think that's still on the table for this team?
I still think they could definitely win the division. That is if all else goes well, of course. But yeah, it's probably going to be between them and the Yankees if we're looking at it like right now. But I still think like Mason made a point, like they still have the same lineup, pretty much damn near same lineup. They did lose a few key pieces, but given that they had the season they had last year, they know their capabilities and they're able to, kind of go work around with that. And I'm sure they can be able to work a full season to be able to shoot for the division winner again.
Let's go to the teams to watch. What's a surprise team in the American League that we are looking out for? I think the obvious surprise choice, if you want to give them that label, is the Baltimore Orioles, because we've seen what they did in the offseason, highlighted by signing Pete Alonso. But is there another team that can kind of match that energy, that can be a dark horse in the AL? Chase, who's that team for you?
I'm gonna go with a team that we saw last year. They also kind of like spark to my eye. They brought a spark to my eye. I'm gonna go with Detroit, the Tigers. Great lineup,
I was thinking
great pitching.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about a team that I think can make a run at it, I'll say Detroit. They're also managed really well.
Yeah, I agree with the Tigers. I think they're going to be somebody to watch for. Mason, who's that surprise team in the AL?
I think the Boston Red Sox are the team to beat in the American League right now, which maybe that's a crazy statement. They had a really good offseason. They signed Ranger Suarez to be another lefty in the rotation. You trade for Wilson Contreras to play first base because, you trade Devers after that whole situation. And Tristan Casas has kind of just disappeared at this point. You signed Sonny Gray and Johan Oviedo to be the back end of the rotation. Caleb Durbin is supposed to be a guy. He got him from the Brewers. He's supposed to really take a step forward. Chase, you'll like this one. They signed Danny Coulomb. I don't know if you heard that one. Signed him to like a $1 million deal. He was like literally one of the best relievers in the game last year, and nobody was talking about it. I don't think he gave up a run in the first half, which is absolutely absurd. And of course, you lose Alex Bregman. Rob Refsnyder mashed lefties. He's over in Seattle. Also worth noting, it's been on my mind since it happened. In our trade deadline episode from last season, I said that that they should have traded Alex Bregman because he was going to opt out of his contract, and then he opted out of his contract, and he's not there anymore. This Red Sox team has a very strong lineup. You saw what Roman Anthony did. He basically put Team USA on his back a couple times. Jarren Duran mashed in the WBC. Wilson Contreras just won the WBC, along with Wilyer Abreu, who came in clutch so many times, hit multiple go-ahead homers in pretty much every round. Trevor Story's coming off one of his best seasons. If Caleb Durbin and Marcelo Meyer and even like Cedon Rafael, if they can take the next step forward, I think they have the best lineup in the league. As alluded to earlier, the rotation is gross with Garrett Crochet and Ranger Suarez. And they had one of the best bullpens in the league last year. Aroldis Chapman's coming off kind of a career year. Garrett Whitlock, if he can get over what happened in the championship game, he was one of the best relievers in the game last year. In addition to Danny Coulomb, and you got Greg Weishart and stuff like that, who also had a good WBC. A lot of a lot of people on the WBC. I just realized that for the Red Sox, but they all played good. So, probably a good sign for the Red Sox. I think they're one of the teams to beat.
I 100% agree.
I
Like I
am.
said, they got
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, I am an in-season Red Sox hater. But
100%. But
Yeah.
but I can't deny this team this season, and I'm excited about Roman Anthony too. I can't wait to see him develop and improve in that pitching rotation, starting pitching rotation. My goodness. But no, who's that surprise team in the AL that you're looking out for?
You guys all said some good choices. Honestly, the Orioles were obviously at the top of my list, but I also like what Boston's doing. If I had to choose a different team, I'd probably say the Rangers. I think the Rangers. I think they still got a relatively young squad with them right now to work with. They got Evan. They got young Evan Carter that had a really good start to his career. Wyatt Langford popped off pretty well. They still got Corey Seager and what's his name? Jacob DeGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, just to name a few. Josh Young's turned out all right. I still think that they did have a peak season a few years ago playing the Diamondbacks, winning that World Series. I still think that they'd be a bit better with Bochy as their coach, but that's changed. I think it's Skip Schumacher now, if I'm not mistaken. But I think that division's pretty manageable as far as getting a playoff spot within that division. Obviously it's going to be tough with battling with the Mariners and the Astros now that they've kind of had the season they had last year. But I think the Rangers is a sleeper team that could sneak in there if that whole squad stays healthy and kind of battles it through the season and gets the job done.
Noah, shout out to you because I was waiting for somebody to mention the AL West team. I'm like, well, we just gonna totally ignore this division. I mean, I know it's not the greatest division in the world, but
right.
For the record, I had the Rangers and the Astros on ready to go in the chamber. I was expecting Luke to be here, and he was gonna talk about his Mariners, and I was gonna be like, surprise, the Astros are back. But
yeah, they are
Red Sox.
Yeah, they are. Look out for them. Yeah. As far as AL MVP, Chase, start us off. Who's on your watch list? Who's at the top of the board for you?
Gunnar Henderson. I don't even have to elaborate. You guys already know.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
If it can't be Aaron Judge, it's Gunnar Henderson. That's my answer.
No Vladdy Guerrero for you, or
hell no, they're not better than him.
Ramirez, no.
I think Gunnar's gonna have a great year for sure. He has a little bit more lineup protection this time around.
I just want you guys. I don't know if you guys heard about everything, but so I don't know if you even watched the WBC completely. People are pissed. People are pissed that Gunnar did not play in that lineup every single night because every single game, the 3 games that he did play in and made an appearance in. That my boy raked.
He did pretty good in the WBC.
And to not see him in that finals, being an Orioles fan, was devastating. And I don't want to hear, well, they put him in the 9th inning and he had a chance to tie the game up. I don't want to hear that because you know how hard that is to come in bottom of the 9th. I don't expect him to go yard when that's his first plate appearance of the whole game. I think if he consistently played game by game, the more at-bats he has, I watch the dude every year, ever since he's been on this team. So the more appearance he has, the better he is. He's a young superstar. So I think he's better than Bobby Witt. So I'm gonna go Gunnar.
Okay, better than Bobby Witt. All right. Who's
that's a
probably
1A,
another
1B
MVP
thing too.
Hey, okay. Hey, Gunnar, one of the more talented players in the league, young talented players. I'm not mad at that. Noah, AL MVP watch. Who's at the top of your list besides Aaron Judge?
Besides Aaron Judge, I'll just mix it in the names for variety. I love the Gunnar pick, dude. Gunnar Henderson's a phenomenal player. Definitely will get some MVP votes. But I'm sorry, Chase. I'm throwing Bobby Witt in there as my pick. I think that's another. I think that's another name we could all mention in there in the MVP race, along with the others that could be a big factor in the league as well. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's defensively and offensively sound on the field, and just he flies around the bases, and he's phenomenal to watch. I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, didn't he lead the league in hits last year or something right there, something like
Yeah,
that?
because Boba missed like 2 months, but
That's right.
yeah, he
Yeah,
did lead the league in hits.
yeah. But that'd be my pick as of right now. I mean, the others are great, but that's who I'd pick at the moment.
No, yeah, I feel that pick too. I think he's going to be the positive recipient or the victim of his team's success as far as like his MVP
Yeah.
stature and standing in the league. But Mason, who you got on top of your list for AL MVP besides Aaron Judge and maybe Gunnar Henderson?
Well, unfortunately, Gunnar is not at the top of my list.
You
I
fake fan, you.
fake fan. Okay. I was kind of hoping I would go before Noah because he was going to take it. My pick is Bobby Witt Jr. to win the MVP. I had him last year, and then Aaron Judge went bonkers again. Just I'll briefly go over him because I have another guy in the chamber because I knew somebody else was going to take him if I didn't get to him first. Bobby Witt Jr. is the best shortstop in the league. When it's all said and done, he might be the best shortstop of all time. Which is kind of a crazy statement to make now because he's so young. Yeah, 184 hits led the league, 47 doubles led the league, 23 homers, 88 RBIs from the leadoff spot, by the way, which is gross. 38 stolen bases, 852 OPS for a 136 OPS plus. Technically regressed with a 7-WAR season, which is absurd. Plays platinum glove defense. He's the definition of a 5-tool player. And big thing that not a lot of people are talking about is that they're moving the fences in at Kauffman Stadium in the corners. They're coming in like 10 feet and they're lowering the walls. So Bobby Witt's going to have a monster season because Michael Garcia and Vinny Pasquantino are both supposed to be good. Gives him some lineup protection. Anyway, Bobby Witt Jr. is my pick to win that.
So you say Bobby Witt's the best shortstop in the league. He's gonna have a good season, right? But your reasoning of they're gonna bring in the walls at Kauffman Stadium, right? You know how they keep messing with the walls at Camden? Well, this year our left field wall is going back a little bit. They brought it too far in, so now they're backing it up. What MVP in your mind? I know not like forget numbers. In your mind, needs your walls to be brought in to hit the ball over. That sounds like a complete wuss to me, bro.
Well, the problem is that even when the walls were back, Bobby was still having better seasons. And also, Gunner's left-handed, so the wall in left field doesn't matter as much necessarily.
That's even better. He's got to hit it over our big right field wall. That's an MVP to me. I'm just saying. So all this stuff that you're saying, Gunnar also does. He steals bases. He gets hit. He hits more home runs.
Well,
so that is what it is.
Gunnar Henderson is suffering from the same thing that Will Smith has suffered for the last 5 years, where he is the second best at his position every year. It was Cal Raleigh, then it was Sean Murphy, and it's JT Realmuto, and all these other guys that are just that little tick better than Will Smith. But Will Smith is always the second best catcher in the league.
Behind closed doors, he sounds like a Kansas City fan in my mind. I don't know if you guys are picking that up.
I don't think so.
Why am I arguing with another Baltimore member?
Let's go to our AL Cy Young watch for players not named Tarik Skubal, because obviously he's going to be on our list as far as our top candidate. But Chase, who else do you have as far as the AL Cy Young watch list?
Give me my boy Trevor Rogers. He's doing it again.
Saw that one.
He finished last year with a 1.8 ERA. He's gonna do it again, if not better.
What you think his stat line got to be this season to overtake Skubal in that conversation?
All right. Well, I'm not gonna be biased here. He's not gonna beat Skubal out for it. But if he had to, shit, he better be perfect. Yeah. He better be like 10-0 record, not lose a game.
Oh man,
he better have like a 1.6 ERA or 1.5, which I mean, I was happy with 1.8, so he's gonna have to go
He's got
down
to get
slightly.
better than his record-setting season.
Yes, but because I'm gonna be honest, nobody's gonna beat Scuba. Like, let's be really, that's the right answer. But yeah, I mean, he's got to get the wins if you want any chance, because Scuba will get Detroit the wins. So if you're gonna have any sort of matchup with Scuba, I need him to have at least double-digit wins because I know Scuba will. If he sticks with a 1.8 ERA, I mean, I really don't think that's not bad at all. Can't even say I don't really think. If he keeps that and also has 13 or so wins, I mean, that could be a comparison. I don't know what I'm expecting from Scuba because I mean, that dude is just like Skeens. I mean, they're just the top pitchers in the league right now. Hard to predict.
No, that's right. Yeah, Scuba is definitely going to be tough to beat. A 1.8 ERA is amazing in today's baseball, man. So he'll have a puncher's chance if he stays like on that level right there. But Noah, who you got for Cy Young AL, not named Skubal?
Right. I'd probably say Garrett Crochet. I mean, he led the league in strikeouts and innings pitched last year. 255 strikeouts is wild. Wow. Considering he's on Boston now, which you guys have been gassing up, and they have been getting better drastically, so I'll give him that. I mean, we're talking about probably one of the more dominant, amongst one of the dominant left-handers in the league, along with Scoob. I think that's another name there that could give Skubal a run for his money for the Cy Young Award winner, but I'd definitely say Crochet is one of them.
All right, Crochet, nice. Mason, AL, Cy Young, watch list. Who you got? Not named Skubal.
Okay, well, Crochet was my pick because we can't go Skubal. Before I make my pick, though, I want to have a fun fact about Skubal. Another fun fact. His stats get better every year. Like, if you look at his stats year over year, they have improved every single season. Can you keep that up? I have no idea, because he had a 2.2 ERA last year and 241 strikeouts, back-to-back Cy Youngs. Can you do better than back-to-back? I don't know. Garrett Crochet was my pick, so I will pivot to my super dark horse that I've done a couple times. Chase, you're going to like this. I'm taking our guy Kyle Bradish.
There's no way in hell.
What, do you not like Kyle Bradish?
I do, Kyle? But let me hear you out. You proved me wrong last time. Let me hear you out.
Okay. So he's coming off some surgeries. Hasn't been able to stay healthy, but they say he's ready to go. Allegedly. Past 3 seasons, he has had a sub-3 ERA. He's sitting right there at 2.4, 2.5. I think over his past 2 years, only 71 1/3 innings. Missed due to injury, had some elbow stuff, got a PRP injection, didn't work, shut him down, got Tommy John middle of 24. He came back end of last season, was phenomenal, another 2.3 ERA, whatever. 13.2 strikeouts per 9 in 2025. His last full season in 2023, 2.83 ERA, just over a 1 whip at 1.043, 168 strikeouts over 30 starts. That was his last full season. He was 4th place in Cy Young. Kyle Bradish has what it takes. It's, can he stay on the field? I think he has the grossest curveball in the league. And that's not bias fan me, because I just talked about how much better Bobby Witt was than Gunnar Henderson. So that's objective goggles, not rose-tinted goggles, saying that he has the grossest curveball in the league. Throws gas. My other guy would be Nathan Eovaldi. 1.7 ERA last year before he got hurt in August. He's kind of old though. But my dark horse is Kyle Bradish.
But Mason, just because of the injuries, that's the only reason I said there's no way. And the surgeries that he's gone through, all of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's coming off of Tommy John from 2 years ago, but I mean, he came back and he had a healthy offseason. They don't have him on a pitch limit. And I mean, it's really just one injury, because the Orioles tried to be cheapskates like they always are and gave him a PRP injection in 2024 instead of getting him Tommy John when he actually needed it. and then he pitched for another 2 weeks, and then he was like, "This shit ain't working. Still hurts." So so they got him the surgery he needed. It's just it's the one injury, and the Orioles handled it wrong.
I'll leave it at this. I do believe he does have what it takes. He definitely does. I'm not going to say he doesn't, and that's not being biased either. If you guys watch Kyle Bradish, he does have what it takes.
The division winners, who are we predicting in each division? Noah, I'm going to start this with you. Are you picking the Orioles in the AL East, or who you have for the AL East?
Real quick, while we go through division, for the AL East, I'm just curious. I want everybody to give the whole division in order, because I want to come back to this at the end of the year.
Okay.
So it's going to be
right.
1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, and then the Rays.
All right. So you want me to list the whole AL East in order as far as where I think they will finish, right?
Yep.
And then give the other,
Okay.
then give the other two divisions too.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So here's what I'll do. I'll do the other two divisions first, since Chase wants me to lay out the AL East. So for the Central, I got the Tigers winning that. I think that's a good team to pop off this year. I think they're in for a big one. The West, I'm gonna go with the Mariners, slightly over the Astros. That's gonna be a tough race between the two, I think. That could go either way, honestly, but I'll go Mariners because they're off from a hot year. So AL East, I'm going Yankees, and then I'm going Orioles. Yeah, Blue Jays, then Red Sox, then Rays.
I also am going to go with Detroit and Seattle as my division winners. And then for the list for the AL East, I'll be realistic. I got Boston 1. I got Baltimore 2. So Noah, I'm not mad at you for 2. Give me New York 3, Toronto 4, and Tampa 5.
So Mariners and Tigers are the other two. I think they're the favorites, at least. Now the AL East, it's kind of just pick your poison, and it's not really a wrong opinion. I do have the Red Sox winning. Now second place, it's I don't know. I'll put the Rays last, just get those out of the way. I'm worried about the Yankees starting pitching to begin the season and how they come back, so I think I'm going to have the Orioles second. Ooh, do I go the Blue Jays third over the Yankees? I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to say. How does the Yankees finish fourth? How do they even finish below second? It just doesn't happen unless Aaron Judge gets hurt. Boston, Baltimore, Toronto, New York, Tampa Bay.
Damn.
Wow. Yankees fourth place.
Yankees taking it. Wow.
Stacey, you too. You're included on this one.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Stacey says. Yeah.
In the West, I think I'm gonna pick the Astros in the West. I'm not as high on I'm just not high on the Mariners. And I think the Astros are due for a bounce back. They just find a way to do it.
They do.
So
they do.
Yeah. So the Central, I low key want to see what the Royals do, but I'm going to go with the safe pick and pick the Tigers.
Don't want to get ridiculed by Chase about being a Royals fan.
No. Especially they just like across the street from St. Louis. So yeah, I got Tigers. And man, I was just thinking about the AL East. Man, it's just so hard. I think I'm gonna have the Red Sox first place, Orioles second place, but just like not that much separation between the two. Yankees third, Blue Jays fourth, and Rays in fifth.
Okay.
But I feel like they're gonna take all the wild card spots. So
I think this will be the. I think this will be the
100%
division.
expecting that. Sorry, no, I'm 100% expecting that all 3 wild card spots in the American League are gonna be the AL East.
I agree. That's pretty much what I was going to say.
I agree.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I was going to say. Yeah, I agree.
And it's gonna be the Rays, of course.
Yeah, we're looking forward to all of our teams: Orioles, Pirates, Cardinals. Shout out to Luke with the Mariners, but this is the end of our American League coverage of the MLB 2026 season on Bases Loaded. I'm your host, Stacey II of Stacey on Sports, joined by Chase, Noah, Mason. Follow us everywhere on social media at Stacey on Sports. Keep a lookout for our baseball content. We are locked in for the 2026 season, and enjoy the games. Enjoy opening night. Enjoy some baseball, y'all. We're back. Bases Loaded.